All right, you mentioned the vendors. Let's give a shout out to the vendors. You work with the world-class vendors. You vet them seriously. You've been working with many of them for a number of years. How important are the vendors to the entire process, combining this, tech planning and this process improvement? When you think about the vendors, I think that in my mind, you have to work with the best of the best, and they have to stay up with things as much as you do in your team, right, George?
You bet. And, in any technology set, Andy, especially where products integrate other products into them, all the different components, you can easily have 20 to 100 different vendors to choose from. And the secret is not just a really solid software company that's been around, but a really solid integrator. Who is the organization that's going to be deploying that technology in your organization, and what's their skill level? Again, the secret of both of those is the design. If the design has been thought through beforehand, they can deploy quickly. You can't just expect the vendors to come up with a design once you've hired them, because the process of planning is different than implementation. And you can't expect everybody to drop everything they're doing during a deployment, stop doing their work, and work with the vendor. So our planning cycle, we will work with the different groups in the organization, maybe 2 hours per week, and we rotate through all those different groups, get their opinion, create the design, improve their processes. We create a roadmap that gives clear direction on what steps need to happen at what time, in terms of process improvement, in terms of also creating a center of excellence within the organization that can be staffed so we have ongoing attention giving to this project. And also in terms of technology deployment, because Andy, it's not also just about the technology, it's about how do we migrate our data? How do we migrate our content to a new system? What do we migrate? How do we do it? What's worth the time to do it? What isn't worth the time? But this overall planning mechanism is something that the vendors typically don't have in their wheelhouse. They're trying to sell you on their product. We're looking at your organization as a whole and saying, how will this new technology suite fit into what you've got today? How can you better use what you have today? And then how can you deploy it rapidly and successfully?
Yeah, George, I listened to this, and there could be so many potential pitfalls. I mean, a company would be crazy not to bring you in with everything that's available. Now,